When black seed oil meets turmeric, something quiet yet profound begins inside the body, not like a dramatic switch being flipped, but more like two old languages recognizing each other and deciding to speak in harmony. The body does not experience this combination as an aggressive intervention, but as a signal of balance, a reminder of how biological systems prefer cooperation over force. Black seed oil carries a complex profile of fatty acids and bioactive compounds that move gently through cell membranes, while turmeric offers curcumin, a molecule known for its ability to communicate with inflammatory pathways and metabolic signals. Together, they initiate a subtle dialogue at the cellular level, where enzymes, receptors, and signaling molecules respond not with alarm, but with adjustment. Cells begin to regulate rather than resist, and this distinction matters more than we often realize. Health is rarely restored by overpowering the body. It is restored by reminding it how to self-correct. In this pairing, the liver recognizes compounds it knows how to process, the gut senses substances that encourage microbial balance, and immune cells receive cues that reduce unnecessary vigilance. Scientific observation shows that curcumin's bioavailability improves in the presence of healthy fats, and black seed oil provides precisely that medium, allowing the message of turmeric to be delivered more clearly and consistently. This is not about amplification in a reckless sense, but refinement, like tuning an instrument so that its sound becomes clear without being loud. At the molecular level, transcription factors involved in inflammation and oxidative stress begin to quiet down, while pathways linked to cellular repair become more active. What makes this interaction especially compelling is that it aligns with the body's natural rhythms. Instead of demanding immediate results, it supports gradual recalibration, which is how long-term health actually unfolds. The digestive system experiences less friction, the circulatory system encounters reduced resistance, and tissues feel less burdened by constant low-grade stress. From a scientific perspective, this reflects a principle seen repeatedly in physiology. Systems heal when opposing forces are softened, not intensified. Philosophically, it reminds us that the body is not a machine to be fixed, but an ecosystem to be supported. When black seed oil and turmeric enter this ecosystem together, they do not compete for dominance, they cooperate, allowing the body to recognize safety rather than threat. That sense of safety is essential because repair only happens when the nervous system is not on constant alert. Over time, this combination encourages the body to move away from survival mode and toward maintenance and renewal. The true power of this blend lies not in dramatic overnight changes, but in the quiet restoration of biological conversation, where cells remember how to listen to one another again, where balance replaces struggle, and where health emerges not as a forceful correction, but as a natural consequence of harmony restored. When black seed oil is combined with turmeric, the immune system encounters something different from the usual signals of defense or attack, and this difference matters deeply. Rather than triggering an aggressive response, the body interprets this pairing as guidance, a kind of biochemical reassurance that allows immune activity to become more intelligent instead of more intense. Black seed oil contains compounds that interact with immune cells in a regulatory way, helping them distinguish between real threats and unnecessary reactions, while turmeric introduces curcumin, a molecule known to influence immune signaling at the genetic expression level. Together, they shape how immune cells communicate, encouraging balance rather than constant vigilance. From a scientific perspective, this is important because chronic immune activation is one of the silent contributors to fatigue, joint discomfort, and metabolic imbalance. When immune cells are always on high alert, they consume energy and create inflammation even in the absence of danger. This combination gently interrupts that cycle, not by suppressing immunity, but by refining it. Macrophages, T cells, and other immune messengers begin to respond with more precision, releasing fewer inflammatory chemicals when they are not truly needed.
The presence of healthy fats in black seed oil also helps curcumin reach immune tissues more effectively, allowing its regulatory influence to last longer and work more consistently. Over time, this improved signaling reduces background inflammation, the kind that does not cause immediate pain but slowly erodes tissue resilience. The body begins to feel less tense at a cellular level, even if the person is not consciously aware of it. This is where science and introspection meet, because a calmer immune system often translates into a calmer internal experience. People describe feeling less heavy, less reactive, more capable of recovery after physical or emotional stress. Biologically, this makes sense because immune balance is closely tied to hormonal and nervous system stability. When inflammation decreases, hormonal stress hormones no longer need to stay elevated, and restorative processes gain space to operate. This pairing also supports the immune system's memory, helping it learn rather than overreact. The body becomes better at remembering past exposures without constantly reliving them through inflammation. In a broader sense, this reflects a fundamental principle of health. Resilience is not built through constant battle, but through adaptive learning. Black seed oil and turmeric together encourage that learning process, allowing the immune system to remain strong without being rigid. Over weeks and months, this shift supports healthier joints, more stable energy, and a reduced sense of internal friction. The body does not feel like it is fighting itself anymore, and that absence of internal conflict is often the first true sign that healing is underway. When black seed oil is blended with turmeric, the digestive system becomes one of the first places where subtle but meaningful changes begin to unfold, because digestion is not only about breaking food down, but about how the body interprets what it receives. The gut is lined with immune cells, nerve endings, and a living ecosystem of bacteria that constantly communicate with the brain and the rest of the body. Black seed oil introduces bioactive compounds that gently soothe the gut lining, reducing irritation at a microscopic level, while turmeric influences digestive enzymes and bile flow, helping the body process fats and nutrients with greater efficiency. Scientifically, this matters because poor digestion is rarely loud at first. It shows up as bloating, sluggishness, cravings, or unexplained fatigue, all signs that communication within the gut is strained. When these two substances are taken together, they create an environment where digestive signals become clearer and less inflammatory. The healthy fats in black seed oil slow digestion just enough to allow better nutrient absorption, while turmeric from turmeric helps regulate inflammatory pathways that can disrupt the intestinal barrier. This barrier is crucial because when it becomes too permeable, the immune system is forced to react to particles that were never meant to enter circulation. Over time, that reaction can spill into systemic inflammation, affecting joints, skin, and even mood. By supporting barrier integrity, this combination helps the gut return to its role as a gatekeeper rather than a battleground. There is also a quieter effect happening within the gut microbiome itself. Certain beneficial bacteria thrive in environments where inflammation is low and bile flow is steady, and turmeric supports this balance indirectly. As microbial diversity improves, digestion becomes more predictable, energy levels stabilize, and cravings for quick sugars often diminish. This is not willpower at work, but biology recalibrating itself. The gut-brain connection means these changes are felt mentally as well. A calmer digestive system sends fewer distress signals to the nervous system, which can translate into clearer thinking and a more grounded emotional state.
From a scientific lens, this reflects how deeply intertwined digestion and mental health truly are. Serotonin production, stress hormone regulation, and even sleep quality are influenced by gut function. When digestion improves, the body enters a state where restoration feels more accessible. The pairing of black seed oil and turmeric does not force digestion to speed up or slow down artificially. Instead, it encourages rhythm. Meals feel less heavy, recovery after eating feels smoother, and the body spends less time correcting internal imbalances. Philosophically, this speaks to nourishment as a dialogue rather than a transaction. Food is not just fuel, it is information. When that information is gentle and coherent, the body responds with trust. Over time, this trust shows itself in steadier energy, improved metabolic flexibility, and a sense that the body is working with you rather than against you, allowing digestion to become a source of strength instead of strain. When black seed oil is combined with turmeric, one of the most profound yet often overlooked effects appears within the immune system, not as a sudden boost, but as a recalibration of how the body responds to stress, infection, and internal imbalance. Immunity is not a switch that turns on during illness and off during health. It is a constant state of surveillance, shaped by inflammation levels, nutrient availability, and hormonal signals. Black seed oil contains compounds that influence immune signaling pathways, helping immune cells respond with precision rather than excess, while turmeric gently modulates inflammatory messengers that can otherwise push the immune system into chronic overreaction. From a scientific perspective, many age-related and lifestyle-related conditions are not caused by weak immunity, but by confused immunity, where the body reacts too strongly to minor threats and too weakly to real ones. This combination encourages balance rather than stimulation. Inflammation is not the enemy, it is a necessary response. The problem arises when inflammation lingers after its job is done. Curcumin helps signal the body to resolve inflammation once repair has begun, while black seed oil supports antioxidant defenses that protect immune cells themselves from oxidative damage. This protection matters because immune cells are highly active and metabolically demanding, making them vulnerable to stress over time. As oxidative burden decreases, immune responses become cleaner and more efficient. There is also an interaction with metabolic health that quietly strengthens immunity. Blood sugar stability, lipid metabolism, and insulin sensitivity all influence how immune cells behave, and both black seed oil and turmeric have been studied for their supportive roles in these processes. When metabolic signals are stable, immune cells are less likely to misinterpret internal cues as danger. This reduces background inflammation that often goes unnoticed until it manifests as joint discomfort, skin flare-ups, or recurring fatigue. On a deeper level, this combination influences immune tolerance, the ability of the body to recognize what belongs and what does not. This is especially relevant as the immune system ages because tolerance can decline, leading to heightened sensitivity and autoinflammatory tendencies. By calming inflammatory noise, the immune system regains clarity. The gut once again plays a central role here because a significant portion of immune activity originates in gut-associated lymph tissue. As gut inflammation decreases, immune education improves, teaching immune cells to respond appropriately rather than defensively. This has ripple effects across the entire body, including respiratory resilience, skin health, and recovery from physical stress. Emotionally, a calmer immune system often corresponds with reduced physical tension and a greater sense of internal ease. Science increasingly recognizes that immune activation influences mood and cognition through cytokines that communicate with the brain. When these signals soften, mental clarity often improves. The body begins to operate in a state that prioritizes repair over defense. Philosophically, this reflects a shift from constant vigilance to intelligent awareness. Health is not about fighting the body into submission, but about removing obstacles so its innate intelligence can function smoothly. Over time, this partnership between black seed oil and turmeric supports an immune system that is alert yet composed, responsive yet restrained, allowing the body to meet challenges without exhausting itself. When black seed oil is paired with this spice, one of the most quietly transformative effects unfolds at the cellular level, where the body decides whether to age with resilience or with gradual breakdown. Every cell lives under constant pressure from oxidation, inflammation, and metabolic stress, and over time, these forces determine how tissues function, repair, and communicate.
Black seed oil contains compounds that help stabilize cell membranes, making them less vulnerable to damage from free radicals, while the spice introduces plant-based molecules that act as cellular messengers rather than simple antioxidants. Together, they influence how cells respond to stress signals, nudging them away from premature aging and toward efficient repair. Science has shown that aging is not merely the passing of time, but the accumulation of unresolved cellular stress. Mitochondria, the energy centers of the cell, are especially sensitive to this stress. When they function poorly, fatigue increases, healing slows, and organs begin to lose coordination. This combination appears to support mitochondrial efficiency by reducing inflammatory interference and improving energy signaling, allowing cells to produce energy with less collateral damage. Over time, this can translate into steadier stamina rather than sudden bursts followed by deep exhaustion. Another layer of this interaction touches gene expression, not by changing DNA, but by influencing which genes are activated and which remain silent. Certain plant compounds are known to support pathways involved in cellular repair and longevity, while dampening those associated with chronic inflammation. This doesn't create immortality, but it can slow the biological noise that accelerates aging. Cells become better at recognizing when to repair, when to rest, and when to recycle damaged components. This internal housekeeping process is essential for long-term tissue health, particularly in the brain, liver, and cardiovascular system. The nervous system also responds to this cellular calm. Chronic inflammation often disrupts neurotransmitter balance and nerve signaling, leading to brain fog, irritability, or restless sleep. By reducing inflammatory crosstalk between the immune system and the nervous system, this combination can promote clearer cognition and a more stable emotional baseline. Sleep quality often improves indirectly because the body no longer perceives constant internal threat. During deep sleep, cellular repair accelerates, reinforcing the very processes this combination supports during waking hours. There is also an effect on circulation at the microvascular level. Health is not only about large arteries, but about how well oxygen and nutrients reach the smallest capillaries that feed tissues. Reduced inflammation improves blood flow dynamics, allowing cells to receive what they need and release waste more efficiently. This can be felt as warmer extremities, less stiffness, and improved recovery after physical exertion. Philosophically, this reflects the idea that longevity is not achieved through force, but through harmony. The body thrives when signals are clear and resources are used wisely. Black seed oil and this spice do not override the body's intelligence, they support it. Over time, the accumulation of small cellular improvements can reshape how the body experiences aging, not as a rapid decline, but as a gradual adaptation marked by steadiness, clarity, and preserved function.